Hello everybody, very important lesson here. I can model series using 1 plus or minus the rate. We've talked about that already. And using the series formula, Sn equals A1 minus A1R to the n over 1 minus R. This is given to you on the reference sheet. And we also will need to be using the summation version, A1R to the n minus 1, just a little bit. Let's go. We'll start with the most important. The key word in this lesson is total. Whenever we see total, that's when we use Sn. And again, this formula is given to you on the reference sheet. You just need to know when to go to it, and it's when you see the word total. So there's three variables. There's A1, there's R, there's N. Alexa earns $33,000 in her first year. That's A1. A1 is $33,000. And earns a 4% increase. We've talked about this a lot already. It's very important you understand what to do when you're increasing or decreasing by a percent. A 4% increase is 1 plus 0.04, which is 1.04. R is not 0.04, it's 1.04. If I'm increasing by a percent, I add that decimal to 1. If I'm decreasing, I subtract it from 1. In each successive year, write a geometric series formula, Sn, for Alexa's total earnings over n years. End of sentence. So right now, n is n. We talked about this a lot in the last unit. If it asks for an equation, you're writing an equation with two variables. So Sn equals A1 is 33,000 minus A1 is 33,000. R is 1.04 to the power of n over 1 minus 1.04. That's the answer to the first question. Now the follow-up question. Use this formula to find her earnings for her first 15 years. Well, n is 15. So now I'm going to replace n with 15 in that formula. So I have 33,000 minus 33. I'm going to just create some more space here. 33,000, 1.04 to the 15 over 1 minus 1.04. And I just pop that into the calculator. I'm going to type in exactly what I see here. I'm just waiting for my calculator to load up, and it'll give me my answer. So keyword is total. When I see total, that's when I do Sn, and make sure that when you're increasing or decreasing by a percent, you're adding or subtracting that decimal from 1. I've done this question enough times already. I remember the answer. It's 660,778.39. And again, you don't need to see me type it in because it's still not loading. Let's take a look at the next one. Let's take a look at one more. Let's do one where we're decreasing. Here we go. D is planning on decreasing the amount of time she eats fast food per month. After the first month, she ate 42 times. So A1 is 42. Each month, she eats at fast food restaurants 10% less. 10% less. That's 1 minus 0.10, which is 0.90. You can think of it that way, or you can think of it as if it's 10% less, if you lose 10%, we have 90%. Either way, R is 0.9. Write a geometric series formula, Sn, for the total. It's not going to always say Sn, but it will say total. When you see total, that's when you do Sn. It's on the reference sheet, A1 minus A1R to the n over 1 minus R. And again, n is n right now. So we've got Sn equals 42 minus 42.9 to the n over 1 minus 0.9. That's your formula. Now the follow-up question. How many total times does she eat fast food in the first 4 months? So n is 4. So now I'm going to substitute 4 in for n. S4 equals 42 minus 42.9 to the 4 over 1 minus 0.9. Looks like my calculator is frozen. That's not good. So again, you don't need to see me typing it in. I can just type it into my calculator in my hand here, just so you know what the answer is. I've got 42 minus 42.9 to the 4th over 1 minus 0.9. To the nearest integer, I got 144. All right, let's take a look at a couple of little twists and see if this thing will load up for the next problem. Number 9. Your parents want you to do some work around the house. You get them to agree to pay you 1 cent on the first day, 2 cents on the second day, 4 cents on the third day, and so on. At the end of the 30-day month, what is the total? Boom, total, SN. SN equals A1 minus A1 R to the N over 1 minus R. A1, the first day is 0.01. And it's not a percent here. It just kind of goes back to what we've been doing from the beginning of the unit. If they give you a sequence, since I know it's geometric, to find the common ratio, I divide. Is this thing going to work? Probably not. So I'm doing 0.02 divided by 0.01. That's 2. I'm doing 0.04 divided by 0.02. That's 2. So my R is 2. Again, it's not asking for an equation here, so you don't have to do that. At the end of the 30-day month, that's N. And then I substitute my values in from there. Sn equals 0.01 minus 0.01, 2 to the 30 over 1 minus 2. You type it into the calculator. I'm just typing it into my personal one since this technology is not cooperating at the moment, but it's fine. You can type it on your own. I should have written S30. So S30 equals a very, very large number, 10,737,418.23. So if you can trick someone into agreeing to paying you 1 cent and then 2 cents and 4 cents for a full month, well, you just tricked that person out of $10,737,418.23. Good luck with that. So the point of this question, if it's not a percent, if they give you the sequence, then you just need to find R by dividing, which we did at the beginning of the unit. And there's one more type of question to go over here, and that is Kristen, number 13. Kristen wants to increase her running endurance. According to experts, a gradual mileage increase of 10%. Increase of 10%, R is 1 plus 0.10. Which is 1.10. Can reduce the risk of injury if Kristen runs 8 miles in week 1. So A1 is 8. Which expression can help her find the total SN number she will have run over the course of 6 weeks? So N is 6. Now looking at the choices, 2 of the choices are explicit, which is what we've been doing, and 2 of them are summations. So I really got to do it both ways. Let's start with the explicit, which is what we've been doing. S6 equals A1 minus A1 R to the N over 1 minus R. So let's look at the choices here. Choice 4 has 0.10, not 1.10, so that one's wrong. And choice 3, the bottom is 0.90. Well, 1 minus 1.10 is actually negative 0.10, so that's not correct. So both of the explicits are wrong. So when do we use summations? Well, we have to. This is an example where we have to. It's not explicit. So the summations is literally just the sequence formula in front of a summation. N equals 1 to N. I substitute into that. N equals 1 to 6. A1 is 8. R is 1.1 to the n minus 1. Do I see that? Yes, choice 1 is the answer. So you only use summations when you have to, if it's multiple choice and those are your choices. And it's not given to you, but it is. The sequence formula is given to you. You just need to understand that you're putting the sequence formula in front of a summation. And it's not going to always be the summation that's right. It could be the explicit that's right, but that's when you would use summations if you have to, if the problem has those choices. That's it. Again, you can see one like this where you have to go both explicit and summations, but explicit in general is your go-to. If I give you the actual sequence to find R, we divide, divide, divide. We've been doing that all unit. And if I give you a percent, whenever you're increasing or decreasing by a percent, you're adding or subtracting that to 1. This right here is definitely the most commonly way that it's asked. It's asked on every single readings exam. So let's get it right over and over and over again. Practice it. Goodbye.